like whether it's paid advertising or I don't know, anything else in your business, can you think of any other examples of things that you took a risk on and it paid off in a big way?
So TikTok, along with the like creating organic content, the paid side of it was really good. So running paid campaigns on TikTok. Now we're experimenting with things like even like you can create an ad now on like Netflix or Hulu, or I think it's Hulu, where there's going to be a lot of new opportunities available where you can like advertise on untraditional platforms. So like I think it's Hulu, but like imagine if you could put like a ad for like land for sale on Hulu, right?
Yeah.
Or Reddit or Twitter. So the platform itself is not really that big of that important. There's no like magic platform. It's more so finding a magic audience and reaching them regardless of platform.
If I could highlight a couple more of Peter's talents here, just as somebody who's a friend of his, superpowers, if you will. I think that was your verbiage, Seth. Related to his first point, he's not afraid to pick up the phone, and I think that's something, it doesn't matter how old you are. You get it a lot with Peter and I's age group. Anybody under 30 is really, really scared to pick up the phone sometimes and just make calls because our generations just had the luxury of texting the entire time. So those folks that are willing to just have such an advantage because you can build relationships, because you can build rapport, because you can hear emotions and inflection in your voice. And so Peter's willingness to just always pick up the phone, make a call, and get things done has been really, really good for him. Number two, I would say he just doesn't have, and you probably do, but on the outside, it doesn't seem like he has limiting beliefs. Like he's one of those guys that just does whatever he does because nobody ever told him he couldn't. I think a lot of people have trouble breaking ideologies that you shouldn't be an entrepreneur, you shouldn't be able to make certain amounts of money, especially at certain age groups, build businesses, hire employees, what have you. Peter doesn't subscribe to any of that. I mean, he's just done such a good job of taking action. And it's like, why did you think to do that? Or why did you do that? And Peter's response would frequently be, why not? And he would just take a stab at it. So I just wanted to brag on him for a second as one of my good friends and somebody I'm proud to be here with right now.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ajay.
Yeah, that's awesome. So
And-
where would you... Go ahead.
Sorry, Seth. No, so I was going to say the reason for that, that I just want to share, which I think can add value, is when I first got, so I'll tell you, it is the most crazy story. So in 2017, I actually saw someone was selling land on eBay. And I actually messaged that person on eBay because I was looking for real estate. I've always been fascinated with real estate because you just see videos, whatever. So I saw that someone was selling land on eBay, messaged this person. Apparently, the dude lived like 20 miles away from where I was at in Chicago. So I actually met him, and this was still like, I think this was maybe early, like first year of college first year of college, I think. So met him at a Starbucks, and he was like, yeah, we can sell you these properties and all this stuff. And I was a skeptic, right? I was a skeptic, and if I got into the same business at that time, we would be much further along. And full circle, a few years later, early 2020, we got reconnected again because, again, I was making my cold calls to all these land companies. And he's like, hey, are you the guy that we met in Starbucks
Wow, that's crazy.
in 2017 in Chicago? And now he's moved to Texas and all that. Started working together that day. And even then, I was a skeptic. I was like, oh, it's probably not that good, me buying from you wholesale and like all this stuff, right? So I was still a skeptic at that point, and that has probably been the highest producing relationship for us to this day. And this was something that I had an opportunity to be a part of in 2017, it was very, very early. So we bought the most land from them in last year in 2021. So for me, and the guy was like, "Hey, man, I told you that," because that was my limiting belief. Is I thought, because I've been burned before in another business, and I kept that story with me for a very long time, and that experience helped me let go of that. And start thinking in a more abundant frame, because for a while I was like, yeah, but I don't know if we're gonna make money on that and all this stuff. But when you understand that someone actually wants to play the long game with you and they're gonna sell you something that you're gonna make a profit on, I learned that, but I lost like 3 years because of waiting.
Yeah.
So that's why that was the story that I thought would add value about sometimes being a skeptic can be expensive.